Welcome to the Trail Boss Squad. My name's John and we're shining the light of Christ one ride at a time. And today, guys, we've got an awesome addition from Underground Lighting. Yes, once again, the one who hooked us up with those crazy reverse lights. We're back again with what I've been excited for a while now, where it got amber grill lights. And so I already just kind of put them into the fuse box so we can kind of see. I don't know how loud this will be, but give you just a little bit of a peek here. How cool is that going to be? We're going to put those lights in the grill. They match really good with the ambers. Oh, it's going to be great. Going to be really, really cool. Can't wait to show you finished product. I'll show you how to do everything. And thank you, Underground Lighting, for sponsoring this video. Y'all go check them out. Link is in the description. So let's go ahead and see what we've got in the box. I've already opened this up and looked at it. I could not wait because I'm really excited about this. So we'll just take a look at our wiring first. We do have 4 lights here, and they were packaged a whole lot better, I promise. I've just had them out and looking at them. So here are our 4 lights, and they're very simple. They just kind of all go into one wire. So we've got waterproof connections right here, and they all just kind of devolve into just this one single positive and negative. Then we've got a little bag of goodies here. I believe we've probably got some instructions. We've got some zip ties, some taps, and then we've got some double-sided tape. And then we've also got some wipes as well that we will need. So what we'll do, we'll actually wipe down on our grill. We'll wipe down on here. We'll use our double-sided tape. Stick this there, stick these on the grill, and then we will find us a great place to tap into. Now, what I'm going to do is actually tap into a fuse. Now, they've included these wire taps, which are great. If you know like which wire your DRL lights are on, if you want them to be synced with that. I'm not sure which ones are on mine, but I do know that we can tap a fuse. We can tap the park light fuse, and I'll show you how to do that. So I bought this little fuse tap just separately, and this will actually go into a fuse spot in your fuse block. And I'll show you all this, and you'll just put fuses into the end of this, and then this red wire will go right here. Then I'll run this black wire to a bolt somewhere onto my truck's chassis underneath the engine. I'll need probably a little bit of extra wire. I don't know, I might be able to strip some of this off. I don't know why my camera's jumping around. And then I'm also going to put this probably on that negative wire and crimp it down. That way I can make sure that it's really attached well to a grounding bolt. And then I'll show you how to do all that too. Here are the instructions. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it because it is going to be a little bit differently. But depending on your vehicle, this will definitely work. So we need to decide where we're going to mount these at. My plan is to kind of put one here and here, and then here and here. So we're going to need to pop our hood. So there's no lack of space to really get those in here, but I do want to be able to reach behind it so we can run our wires. So we are going to take off this little plastic cover here, and I'll show you how to do that. So there are quite a few of these little clips here, but they're really easy to take out. We're just going to put our flathead screwdriver in there and just kind of pry up on them. There we go. You're going to just do that to every little clip that you see around here. And let's see if we can get them pulled out. So once you get them pulled out, you should be able to pull that the rest of the way. And you can either use your flathead again or use a tool like this and just get under there and pull it out just like that. Now, if you break one of these, don't worry, they're super cheap, and I'll leave a link in the description where you could get some replacements if you break one. So once you take all those plastic clips off, you'll see this thing will move pretty freely. We're just going to lift it up and just kind of pull straight forward. Just like that. All right, so we need to kind of make a plan on where exactly are we going to put these. So I went ahead and just kind of reached back behind here and just shoved these through roundabout where I think they will come out. And of course, we're going to, kind of mount them up there. And there's kind of a lip that you can push these up against. I don't know if I can actually get the camera. Yeah. So you can actually make sure they're kind of all, even So you can just kind of push it up against that so you'll know. And then of course all the excess wire will come over here. We'll actually tap in right here. The real question is then, and where do you run these wires? Because what you do not want to do is run the wires through this active shutter grill, depending on your model, because these actually open and close depending on how fast you're going and stuff. So we're going to want to stay over the top of this. All right, so we've still got these dangling, and I do just have them kind of ran on top here of our louvers, and then I just have them kind of all together. I'm going to use this little hole right here. Of course, I'm going to zip tie these lines together too, and so there'll be one, and then I'll zip tie, and there'll be two, and I'll zip tie, and there'll be three, and then all four should be zip tied by here. And I'll use this little hole to kind of zip tie and hold them up, and then I'm going to use this hole, zip tie them all together again. Now, right on the side of the radiator, there's kind of like a plastic shroud that can kind of push out a little bit. I just shoved those wires through there, and they just poked out right here. We're going to run our wires. Of course, they'll look a whole lot neater right up here to our fuse box, and then I'll probably use this to ground it. I'll make sure it is a good ground, and so we'll just have the fuse tap in here, and I'll show it to you, and then it'll ground here. So it'll just split right there and really won't go any farther. Probably cut a lot of this excess off since we won't need it. I don't really want a whole lot going everywhere. I'll zip tie it to this. So really, before I do all that cleanup, I want to get these mounted. Okay, so I just hooked these lights up to a Ryobi battery, and I've just temporarily attached them with some alien tape. I haven't used anything in our kit yet to kind of figure out where I wanted these at, because I put them all in the middle. I didn't really like where they were, so I'm thinking I kind of like this setup. Now they're kind of crooked. They're kind of just dangling. I kind of like that look, and so I've just got it really kind of, I guess, a little bit off the middle there. Let me move this one just a little bit off the, and I kind of recommend doing this. You don't put them on there, so I'm kind of lined up with this line, lined up with that line, and I've just got these pushed as far over as the wire will actually let me. Like I said, they are just kind of just dangling on there because I've just got a little bitty piece. Oh yeah, I like that. That's it right there. So I do recommend, I guess, tacking them up there so you can kind of figure out what you like. Now you may have a completely different style that you prefer. Of course, I keep turning these on so I can kind of see what it looks like with it. I think that's it. So I'm going to take those down. We're going to clean it up with some alcohol real good under there. Clean off our light really good. Put our double-sided tape from the kit on there. And then actually mount them down and then zip tie everything up. So the kit did come with these. So we're definitely going to take that wet wipe. And we're going to wipe where this is going. So I'm going to pull this off. You can see my alien tape. Definitely want to pick that off, stick it to the side somewhere. I'll clean this up first because it's probably not nearly as dirty. Try not to get your hands on it, because if you're doing this, your hands are probably dirty. And we're just going to clean this, I mean, really good, as hard as we can. And we can kind of, I don't know if you can see, pretty dirty. I'm going to go ahead and just flip this over. Take off that, wipe this down really good. Try to keep our fingers off of it. And I'm just going to wipe that really good too. This is one thing we don't want to skimp on. We want to make sure we get this good and clean. Because if it doesn't stick, you're going to have to redo it. And we don't want to do that. All right, so we're going to take our double-sided tape here. Now we've got this cleaned up. We've got kind of a protective layer on both sides. I'm going to take the clear off first. Try not to touch it. One, it's super sticky, and we don't want to waste any of the sticky on us. We're just going to try to just get it as close as we can in the middle there. So it looks like you can start it just kind of right on that curve. Like I said, we just want to just barely place it. So if you start it on the curve, you'll end on the curve. And And then we're just going to squeeze the mess out of this thing. We want to make sure it's on there good. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now the moment of truth. I'm going to grab our little tab, pull it off. Like I said, there's a lip right here. I'm going to try to push the back up against. And I'm going to get my wire all the way to this plastic where it won't stop. I'm trying to get some landmarks. That way I don't have to measure anything, but I can still get it at the same spot on both sides. All right, so I think that's it. And I'm just going to squeeze right here and just pinch it. I'm gonna hold it for like 60 seconds and I'm squeezing as hard as I can. I wanna make sure this is on there. All right, that's been about 60 seconds. I think I got it where I wanted it. And now we're gonna start on this one. And we're gonna do that 4 times. And we'll come back and see what it looks like. All right, so I've got them stuck on there, guys, and they look good. Now, they're bright, but the camera really makes them kind of, I guess, I don't know, almost glow. And of course, they're glowing, but it's a lot more refined look than it is in the camera. Same way with these orange glows that I've got. It's a deeper orange, I think, than what the camera leads onto, but I really like that placement. Of course, it looks way better, I think, with the orange venom. And I don't know why I've only got one blinking over here, but I think that looks really good. So now let's go to the wiring. All right, so this is the wiring so far. I've got a hole right here. So this first light to the right, I just zip tied right there just to give me something to hold on to. Come over here, zip tied it to the next light, and just kind of zip tied it to each light all the way down. And then I zip tied all of them to this hole right here. And then on the other side, I've kind of got them just all zip tied together again. And then my excess that I have left, I've zip tied together too. I'm going to, once I take this fuse panel off, kind of just shove it down in there. And then I'll probably zip tie the end to this whenever I use this as a ground. I'll take the lid off here. That way we can kind of shove it down there. We don't want to get it touching the radiator. So we don't want to do that. So don't get it on there. Keep as close to this as you can. And that'll keep you safe. Like I said, we've got this plaque shroud here, a little close right there. We'll see if we can't tuck it over a little bit better. But we're looking good. So we're gonna go ahead and take this fuse panel off. We'll squeeze that side and squeeze this side. All right, now this is the scary fuse panel. Now we're going to want to get a fuse that we can use for when these things, whenever we want them to be on. Now I'm probably going to hook it up to the park light, which I believe is 29, but that might not be what you want to use. You can kind of, put this on different fuses. Don't do it while it's on, but turn it off, pull a fuse, put your fuse tap on. I'll show you how to do that in a minute, and just get it where you want it to come on. I want mine to come on when I do my remote start. Really, I just want mine to be on all the time. And so if this fuse don't do it, I'll tell you which one does. I do have the Venom Always orange DRL, and so that may make my park lamps always on and yours might not would be. And so you may want to use a different fuse, but I'll let you know how this one works. So let's go get that fuse tap and I'll show you how that works. All right, so we're going to grab our fuse. You may not be able to see where this one's at, but I'll show you on the other side. Just going to grab it and just pull it straight out. Now you make sure this thing's off. Just set your fuse over there. This one's a 15 amp. I got a couple fuses here. And we've got blank spots here. I'm going to put my fuses, a new one in there, and the old one in there. And then I'm going to put this back in there. Now, depending on which way you put it, might depend on what's in your box. But mine fit just right in there. And so now we're going to take the red wire from our system. Now I'm going to pull some of the shielding back just so I've got more than just this room between my positive and negative. I'm going to stick that in there and just pinch that with a pair of pliers. And then we will worry about our ground wire next. All right, and I recommend you get you a handy tool like this. I've pulled back some of this sheathing so I can see my 2 wires, because this black wire will come out of this box. There's not really a good grounding spot inside of that. But with this, you can put some of your wire in here, just pull that trigger, and now you can stick that in there. We'll do that in a minute. You can also cut the wire right there if you need to. It's pretty handy. And also we got some crimps down here, so we'll crimp that as well. I'm just gonna spin this wire a little bit. We'll stick it in there. All right, feels like it's in there good. And we're gonna squeeze it with this middle section here. It'd probably be easier if you took your fuse block out and did this, but I've come this far. I'm just gonna squeeze. All right. Just give it a little tug. Feels good. All right, so we went ahead and just put everything back together. Let's do it the same way. Just slide this on, pop all your pins in, and honestly, I mean, could you tell if it wasn't for this? I mean, you'd have to really get down there and look, but I think we did a good job. This really looks just stock. And so we're done. Now it's just time to do some cool filming, but we are looking good. I even like the way they look when they're not on. They still have a look to them, so I like that too. All right, guys, I think that this is one of the coolest modifications that you can do for your ride. Now, I know this isn't for everybody. I've heard them called Raptor lights and things like that. I just call them grille lights. I think they look great, especially with the always amber running lights. I think it's a great combination. They really complement each other, and they look fantastic. They look better in real life than they do in the video. It's hard to keep it where it's not like blown out in the camera. This is just a smartphone I'm using, but I tried to dim it real deep so you could kind of see more like what it looks like in person, but it looks good. My son, I showed him what I was planning on doing with these, and he wasn't real big into it. And then he just saw a minute ago, and he's like, I was wrong. These things are sweet. And so I thank you, Underground Lighting, for hooking us up with these. They also hooked us up with those crazy bright reverse lights. And so definitely go check those out too in that video as well. And this is definitely one that I was excited for, and it turned out even better than I expected. If you got any questions about the install, drop your comments down below. I help any way I can. And also, don't forget, Jesus loves you so much he died for you, and all the honor and glory goes to God. Good night, good trails, and God bless.